Since the 1979 Islamic Revolution, Iran has seen international relations overturned, notably with the West, which has progressively isolated it through economic and diplomatic sanctions. Faced with this exclusion, Tehran turned to new strategic allies, including China. Beijing, eager for energy resources to sustain its meteoric economic growth, saw Iran as a key partner, while Tehran found in China crucial political and economic support to bypass international sanctions. Over the years, this cooperation has strengthened, now integrating economic, energy, and security aspects. More recently, Chinese ambitions in the region have increased further within the framework of the new Silk Road initiative, placing Iran at the heart of this global strategy. Let's talk about it in this video. Let's go! After the 1979 Islamic Revolution, which isolated Iran on the international stage, Beijing gradually became a major strategic partner for Tehran. China saw Iran as a key supplier of oil and gas, while Tehran found in Beijing an ally capable of bypassing Western sanctions. In the 2000s, Sino-Iranian relations intensified with growing economic cooperation, particularly in the energy, infrastructure, and weapons sectors. China became one of the main importers of Iranian oil, thereby consolidating its influence in the Middle East. Beijing also supported Iran on the diplomatic stage, notably at the UN Security Council, where it often opposed American attempts to impose new sanctions against Tehran. More recently, this alliance has strengthened within the context of global geopolitical tensions. In 2021, China and Iran signed a 25-year strategic agreement that provides for significant Chinese investments in Iran in exchange for preferential access to the country's energy resources. This partnership goes far beyond the economy. It also includes security and military cooperation aimed at strengthening their position against Western pressure. For example, China has committed to investing approximately $400 billion in Iran, mainly in infrastructure, such as transport, ports, energy, and telecommunications. These projects aim to modernize Iran's economic capabilities while strengthening bilateral economic ties. It's therefore clear that energy is at the heart of Sino-Iranian relations. Moreover, China is the main importer of Iranian oil, despite American sanctions. Beijing buys Iranian oil at a reduced price through clandestine circuits and transactions in yuan or cryptocurrencies, allowing Iran to continue financing its economy. China also plays a key role in integrating Iran into alternative economic and security organizations, such as the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, which allows Tehran to strengthen its relations with Russia and other regional powers. The beginning of the year 2025 was marked by a significant rapprochement between Beijing and Tehran. In March 2025, Iran, Russia, and China announced the holding of joint military exercises off the Iranian coast in the Gulf of Oman. Scheduled to begin on March 11, 2025, this initiative aims to strengthen regional security while illustrating the growing military cooperation between these three powers. These maneuvers involve the naval forces of the three countries, with the participation of combat ships, support vessels, and units of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard. China notably mobilized a guided missile destroyer and a supply ship, while Russia deployed several warships. These military exercises took place in a tense geopolitical climate as the three nations seek to counter what they perceive as American homogeny. They also testify to the strengthening of their strategic ties in a key region for global maritime trade. However, this military cooperation is not unprecedented. The exercises, dubbed Marine Security Belt 2025, marked the fifth consecutive edition of these maneuvers, initiated in 2019. The objective is to strengthen maritime security and military coordination in strategic areas such as the Gulf of Oman, an essential sea lane located near the Strait of Hormuz. This strait, through which approximately 20% of the world's oil passes, holds major geopolitical importance. The exercises will include various operations, notably search and rescue missions, strikes on maritime targets, and damage management exercises. Shortly after these maneuvers, China, Iran, and Russia jointly called for the lifting of sanctions imposed on Tehran during tripartite discussions organized in Beijing. These exchanges highlighted their opposition to unilateral sanctions, which they consider an aggravating factor in international tensions. The three countries also stressed the importance of dialogue and negotiation to ease tensions around the Iranian nuclear program. This initiative comes in a context where the United States, while appearing open to dialogue, has recently strengthened its sanctions against Iran. These discussions also addressed the need to revive the 2015 agreement on the Iranian nuclear deal, weakened by the American withdrawal in 2018. This rapprochement between Beijing and Tehran is explained by the strategic importance that China places on Iran to assert its influence in the Middle East. Positioned at the crossroads of several key trade routes and rich in energy resources, Iran represents an essential strategic partner for Beijing in its quest for economic and political expansion in the region. Let's take a closer look. China considers Iran a key partner in its strategy to expand its influence in the Middle East. This region is crucial for Beijing due to its geopolitical importance and its vast energy resources. By allying with Iran, China seeks to strengthen its presence in an area traditionally dominated by the United States and its allies. Located at the crossroads of Central Asia, the Middle East, and South Asia, Iran controls crucial trade routes, notably the Strait of Hormuz, through which approximately 20% of all world's oil passes. This position gives it major influence over global energy trade. Furthermore, Iran plays a central role in the Chinese New Silk Road initiative as a key transit point linking Asia to Europe. In fact, the New Silk Road is a vast infrastructure and economic development project launched by China in 2013 under the impetus of President Xi Jinping. This project aims to strengthen trade exchanges and investments between Asia, Europe, and Africa by recreating the ancient trade routes that once linked China to the rest of the world. The initiative is built around two main axes: a land route called the Silk Road Economic Belt, and a maritime route named the 21st Century Maritime Silk Road. The first aims to link China to Europe via Central Asia, crossing countries like Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, or Russia. This land route includes the construction of railways, highways, and pipelines intended to facilitate the transport of goods and energy. The second maritime route passes through the main ports of Southeast Asia, the Indian Ocean, and the Red Sea before reaching the African and European coasts. Thus, by investing massively in transport infrastructure, China seeks to facilitate its exports, but also to secure its supplies of raw materials. This initiative also allows Beijing to increase its diplomatic influence by forming strategic partnerships with participating countries. Returning to Sino-Iranian relations in the Middle East, the objective is also to counter the influence of the United States in the region. One of the most striking examples is China's role in relations between Iran and Saudi Arabia, a key partner of the United States. Indeed, China played a crucial role in the rapprochement between Iran and Saudi Arabia, two regional powers historically in conflict. In March 2023, Beijing hosted negotiations that led to an agreement to restore diplomatic relations between the two countries. This event marked a turning point in Chinese diplomacy, highlighting its role as a mediator in a region traditionally influenced by the United States. By facilitating this dialogue, China strengthened its image as a global power capable of promoting stability and cooperation. Thus, Beijing worries the United States with its growing role in the Middle East. By acting as a mediator, China projects an image of global power capable of resolving complex conflicts, where the United States has not always succeeded. It's therefore clear that Sino-Iranian relations perfectly illustrate the complex geopolitical dynamics of the Middle East, where rivalries between major powers are reshaping traditional alliances. China, by strengthening its partnership with Iran, aims to ensure privileged access to energy resources while consolidating its influence in a strategic region for global trade. By also playing the role of mediator, notably between Iran and Saudi Arabia, Beijing demonstrates its desire to extend its diplomatic role in the face of declining American influence.